These are 5 California piers to avoid and 5 that catch giant fish. Some of these locations have built reputations for poor fishing, contamination concerns, closures, or conditions that frustrate anglers year after year. Others have produced giant halibut, massive bat rays, white sea bass, and some of the most impressive catches ever documented from a California pier. If you're planning your next fishing trip, knowing the difference can save you time, money, and a lot of disappointment. Not every famous pier is a productive pier, and not every productive pier gets the attention it deserves. Some of the locations on this list attract huge crowds despite disappointing fishing results, while others continue producing fish that keep serious anglers coming back year after year. Let's begin with the piers that many anglers would think twice about fishing. Number 5. Venice Fishing Pier. The Venice Fishing Pier has stood as part of the Southern California fishing scene since 1965, and while it remains one of the more recognizable piers in Los Angeles County, its fishing reputation has never reached the level of many competing locations. Ask longtime anglers about Venice, and the answers tend to sound similar. The pier catches fish, but consistency has always been the issue. According to longtime reports featured on pierfishing.com, Venice has often struggled to produce the kind of dependable action anglers find elsewhere along the Southern California coast. One regular who spent decades fishing the area described the pier as rarely being exceptional, outside of occasional periods when conditions lined up perfectly. That reputation has followed Venice for years. Part of the problem comes from the conditions anglers encounter. Strong winds can make fishing difficult. Muddy water often appears after weather events, and heavy crowds are a regular part of the experience. Instead of focusing entirely on fishing, many visitors find themselves competing for rail space and working around foot traffic. The result is a pier that can feel crowded even when the bite is slow. Reports collected by Ken Jones describe outings where fierce winds, poor water clarity, and weak fishing activity left many anglers without a single fish. Those accounts helped reinforce a reputation that has lingered for years among Southern California fishermen. Fish are certainly present. Anglers regularly catch thornbacks, shovel-nosed guitarfish, small bat rays, lizardfish, and other common species. Larger fish occasionally appear as well, including sharks and giant sea bass. The challenge is that those moments tend to be the exception rather than the rule. Number 4. Ocean Beach Pier. Ocean Beach Pier occupies a unique position on this list because its reputation depends entirely on whether you're talking about the past or the present. For decades, Ocean Beach Pier ranked among California's best-known sport fishing piers. Stretching nearly 2,000 feet into productive San Diego waters, it provided anglers access to kelp beds, deeper water, and species that many shoreline fishermen rarely encountered elsewhere. Today, none of that matters, because the pier is closed. Ocean Beach Pier has remained closed since October 2023, and city officials later determined that repairing the aging structure was no longer a realistic option. Plans now focus on eventual replacement rather than reopening the existing pier. That closure is especially disappointing because the pier developed a long history of producing quality fish. Over the years, anglers documented halibut exceeding 38 pounds, bat rays topping 125 pounds, a documented 160-pound bat ray, and numerous other impressive catches. What made Ocean Beach interesting was that giant fish always seemed possible. At the same time, most anglers still caught the everyday species that dominate California piers, including perch, croaker, mackerel, sharks, and rays. The trophies were real, but they were never guaranteed. That's what makes the pier such a strange case today. Historically, it belongs among California's most respected fishing destinations. From a practical standpoint, however, anglers cannot fish it at all. No matter how impressive a pier's history may be, a closed pier offers zero opportunity. That reality alone places Ocean Beach among the piers many anglers should avoid when planning a current fishing trip. Number 3. Berkeley Pier. Few California piers have experienced a bigger decline than Berkeley Pier. For many years, it ranked among the most heavily visited fishing piers in the Bay Area, attracting anglers targeting striped bass, halibut, sharks, rays, jacksmelt, perch, flounder, and several other species throughout the seasons. The pier developed a loyal following because of its accessibility and the amount of water anglers could cover without ever launching a boat. What nobody expected was that the structure itself would eventually become the biggest obstacle. Since 2015, Berkeley Pier has remained closed after engineers discovered severe structural deterioration, including concrete damage and corrosion of reinforcing steel. The result was immediate. A location that once hosted countless fishing trips suddenly became inaccessible to everyone. Replacement plans continue moving through environmental reviews and design phases, which means discussions about the future of the pier are still ongoing. The problem is that none of those plans help anglers today. Construction funding remains unresolved, and until that changes, Berkeley Pier remains off-limits. Historically, Berkeley earned respect more for convenience than for producing trophy fish. Anglers appreciated the access, the space, and the variety of species available throughout the year. None of that matters if you can't reach the water. That's the reality facing Berkeley today. For anglers searching for productive California piers in 2026, Berkeley remains a location defined more by what it used to be than what it currently offers. Number 2. Cabrillo Pier. Cabrillo Pier highlights a completely different problem because fishing success isn't necessarily the issue here. Located near San Pedro, the pier sits within the Palos Verdes Shelf Superfund area, one of California's best-known fish contamination zones. Fish are present, anglers catch them regularly, and many visitors leave feeling like the fishing itself was worthwhile. The concern begins once those fish reach the cooler. According to EPA and OEHHIA guidance, several species commonly caught in the area fall under consumption advisories tied to historic DDT and PCB contamination. Among the fish specifically identified are white croaker, barred sandbass, black croaker, topsmelt, and Pacific barracuda. The problem becomes even more noticeable because white croaker happens to be one of the most common species caught from Cabrillo Pier. Anglers also encounter mackerel, small rockfish, halibut, and occasional leopard sharks, which means there is legitimate fishing activity taking place throughout the year. Families often visit the pier because of its community atmosphere and its location near educational programs and attractions. Some local outreach efforts even teach visitors which fish should not be eaten from these waters. That creates a unique situation where anglers may catch fish successfully, but still choose not to keep them. Cabrillo continues hosting fishing events and remains a popular public destination. The issue isn't whether fish are present. The issue is that official health advisories remain attached to several of the species anglers are most likely to catch. For many California fishermen, that concern alone places Cabrillo near the top of the avoid list. Number 1. Santa Cruz Wharf. Santa Cruz Wharf may be the most surprising entry anywhere in this video. Few fishing structures in California are more recognizable. The wharf stretches far into Monterey Bay, attracts enormous crowds every year, and ranks among the most famous waterfront landmarks in the state. Looking at it from shore, most anglers would expect outstanding fishing. The historical data tells a different story. According to a California Department of Fish and Game survey conducted in 1979, Santa Cruz Wharf recorded a catch rate of only 0.32 fish per hour. Researchers interviewed more than 4,000 anglers during that study, and among the Monterey Bay public piers surveyed, Santa Cruz produced the lowest catch rate. For comparison, Monterey Wharf number 2 recorded nearly 5 times the catch rate. That's a dramatic difference, especially considering how well-known Santa Cruz Wharf has become. There is important context here. An earlier study from 1968 produced nearly the opposite conclusion and ranked Santa Cruz among the strongest performers. Fishing conditions change over time, which means these numbers should be viewed as historical rather than current. Even so, the 1979 survey remains one of the strongest documented examples of poor pier productivity ever recorded in the region. several challenges continue shaping the wharf's reputation. Heavy tourism fills much of the structure throughout the year. Restaurants and businesses occupy large sections of the wharf. Sea lions frequently compete with anglers for hooked fish, and experienced observers have noted that fishing can vary dramatically from one area of the wharf to another. Recent storm damage added another complication when part of the structure collapsed during high surf in December 2024. Most of the wharf remains open, but portions of the original structure are gone. Santa Cruz Wharf remains famous, heavily visited, and historically important. For anglers focused purely on fishing results, however, it continues to generate debate, unlike almost any other California pier. Now let's shift from frustration to opportunity. These are the California piers that have built reputations for producing some very big fish. Number 5. Oceanside Pier. When anglers talk about Southern California piers capable of producing large fish, Oceanside Pier almost always enters the conversation. The reason starts with location. Oceanside reaches deep water, provides access to sandy bottom habitat favored by halibut, and gives anglers opportunities at species that many shorter piers simply can't reach. That combination has helped establish the pier as one of the most productive fishing destinations on the California coast. Halibut are among the biggest attractions. Reports documented by pierfishing.com include fish approaching 40 pounds on live bait, and during productive periods, anglers have reported multiple keeper halibut in a single day. Bat rays add another layer of excitement. Estimated fish approaching 150 pounds have been reported from the pier, creating battles that can last far longer than the average fishing trip. Giant sea bass have also been hooked and released, while white sea bass occasionally appear, though most are smaller juvenile fish commonly referred to as sea trout. The pier's reputation comes from variety as much as size. On any given trip, anglers might encounter croaker, halibut, rays, sea bass, or several other species moving through the area. The biggest challenge today isn't the fishing, it's access. A fire in 2024 destroyed the far western end of the pier, eliminating access to the deepest section that historically produced some of the best fishing. Most of the structure remains open, but anglers can no longer reach the area many considered the prime zone. Even with that limitation, Oceanside remains one of California's best opportunities for anglers hoping to connect with a genuinely large fish. Number 4. Hermosa Beach Pier. Hermosa Beach Pier owes much of its reputation to a feature that many visitors never even notice. Just offshore sits an artificial reef, and that reef changes everything. Bait fish gather around the structure, which attracts bass, halibut, white sea bass, and numerous other species throughout the year. The result is a fishing environment that consistently offers opportunities for anglers targeting larger fish. Documented catches include a 39-inch California halibut and a 36-inch white sea bass. Those numbers alone would earn attention, but the pier's history extends even further. During the famous 1982 through 1983 El Niño period, anglers reported catching hundreds of yellowtail. Numerous keeper halibut were landed during that time, and many large white sea bass were reported as well. Those years became legendary among Southern California fishermen. Bat rays and thresher sharks continue appearing around the pier today, giving anglers multiple opportunities at larger species. Many experienced fishermen specifically target the reef with live bait presentation because they know predators frequently patrol the area looking for an easy meal. Fishing conditions may not match the extraordinary action reported during those famous El Niño years, but Hermosa Beach Pier still stands as one of Southern California's most respected locations for anglers chasing fish that can genuinely test their tackle. Number 3. Goleta Pier. Goleta Pier has earned a reputation built on both variety and size. Throughout the year, anglers encounter halibut, white sea bass, bat rays, and a long list of additional species moving through the surrounding waters. Few Central Coast piers offer the same combination of diversity and big fish potential. Bat rays are among the headline attractions. Reports include fish estimated at more than 100 pounds, while one photographed specimen measured 52 inches. Those are the kinds of catches that keep anglers returning year after year. Halibut approaching 30 inches are reported regularly, and white sea bass often appear during warmer periods, particularly during early morning hours when conditions favor feeding activity. Location plays a major role in the Pier's success. Productive kelp habitat sits nearby, along with a channel that creates feeding opportunities for game fish moving through the area. The surrounding Santa Barbara Channel supports abundant marine life, which means food sources are rarely in short supply. Another factor helping Goleta stand out is the nearby white sea bass enhancement program, which has released thousands of juvenile fish into local waters. The result is an area that continues supporting opportunities for anglers targeting one of California's most sought-after game fish. Goleta combines productive habitat, species diversity, and a long history of catches, making it one of the most respected fishing piers on the Central Coast. Number 2. Stearns Wharf. Stearns Wharf proves that history and fishing success can exist in the same place. Built in Santa Barbara, this iconic wharf has produced some of the most memorable documented pier catches in California history. Among them is a certified 203-pound bat ray caught in April 2004, one of the largest documented pier-caught bat rays ever recorded. The fish measured more than 54 inches across, and catches of that size instantly become part of California fishing history. Halibut are another major attraction. A documented 36-inch halibut was reported from the wharf in 2019, while thresher sharks, rays, and other large species continue drawing anglers looking for something bigger than the average catch. Deep water access helps explain much of the success. Bait fish gather around the pilings, predators move in to feed, and anglers using live bait often find themselves with opportunities at larger fish. Some reports suggest fishing productivity has declined compared to previous decades. Even with that concern, Stearns Wharf continues producing fish that most anglers would gladly spend an entire season chasing. Very few California piers can match the combination of history, access, and giant fish potential found here. Number 1. Ocean Beach Pier. Yes, Ocean Beach Pier appeared earlier on the avoid list. It also deserves a place here because its history as a giant fish producer remains impossible to ignore. Over the years, anglers documented an impressive collection of catches from this structure. A 38-pound halibut, a 44-inch halibut, bat rays exceeding 125 pounds, a documented 160-pound bat ray, a 57-pound shovel-nosed guitarfish, even a 7-foot blue shark. Those catches weren't random accidents. The pier's location near Point Loma kelp beds and productive deep water created opportunities few California piers could match. For decades, Ocean Beach ranked among San Diego's premier sport fishing destination. Anglers visited knowing that ordinary fish were available, but extraordinary fish always remained a possibility. Today, the pier sits closed, while replacement plans continue moving forward. Anglers can only look back at what the structure produced during its peak years and imagine what future generations may experience once a replacement eventually arrives. Its closure prevents it from being a current recommendation, but its fishing history secures its place among California's legendary piers. The difference between a great fishing trip and a disappointing one often comes down to choosing the right location. Santa Cruz Wharf, Cabrillo Pier, Berkeley Pier, Venice Fishing Pier, and Ocean Beach Pier each carry concerns ranging from closures and contamination issues to documented productivity problems. Meanwhile, Oceanside Pier, Hermosa Beach Pier, Goleta Pier, Stearns Wharf, and the historic Ocean Beach Pier have all built reputations around giant halibut, white sea bass, massive bat rays, and some of the most impressive catches ever documented from California piers. Before making any trip, verify current pier conditions because closures, repairs, storm damage, and changing access can alter the situation quickly. If you're chasing the kind of fish that create stories you'll talk about for years, choosing the right pier can make all the difference.